Hi, I'm Scott Wolf, and I want to tell you the stories behind two of the most famous photos of Walt Disney. And I want you to hear directly from the photographer who shot them. Renie Bardeau was a photographer who started working for Disney in 1959, a time when Walt Disney could still be found wandering around his beloved park. Renie ultimately worked his way up to chief photographer for Disneyland, and by the time he retired in 1998, it was estimated that he took more than 1 million photos for Disney. Renie was also my friend. Here's a photo of us where he's holding two very special photos that he took of Walt Disney. I loved talking with Renie, not just because he had fascinating stories of his time at Disney, but also because I love photography. It was really amazing to hear his stories from a time before digital photography, when he took pictures and had to choose the right film and right settings and then wait until the film was developed to see if the pictures came out okay. And his film only had 12 pictures per roll. That meant that after every 12th picture he had to stop and change film, sometimes very quickly, or he could miss an important shot. This is one of my treasures. It's a note on Renie's Disneyland letterhead, and it was written to the great Fulton Burley, who I previously did a video about. Fulton was a performer in Disneyland's Golden Horseshoe Revue, and this note reads, "Fulton, these were printed by mistake, so instead of tossing them, thought you would like them. Renie." In those days, all the pictures were printed. This was long before digital press kits or emailing photos. Renie took photos of Disneyland's lands, attractions, shows, parades, fireworks, special events, employee events, and the various celebrities, politicians, and royalty that visited. He also took photos of Walt Disney himself. So many of Renie's photos are in this book from 1979, Disneyland, the First Quarter Century. Now there's a good chance that he took this photo on the cover, as he shot the castle thousands of times, but in those days there were no photo credits, so it's hard to know for sure. I once asked if he minded that he didn't get a photo credit, and he said that he, along with the other photographers over the years, were a team doing it for Disney. So if one photographer shined, they all shined. Now here's a photo that Renie definitely remembered taking. It's Walt Disney with a lot of children sitting around him. He got to photograph Walt many times, and he told me that all those kids in this picture were the children of Disneyland employees. And then back here is Renie's photo of Walt in the castle. I asked him about this photo, and he told me the very simple story behind it. And I want you to hear when he told me that, in a kind of noisy restaurant. He'll mention Charlie in this audio. He's referring to Charlie Nichols, who was Disneyland's first chief photographer. And Renie would often do photo shoots with Charlie. What is the story with Walt walking through the castle? That famous photo.
Oh, okay. Saturday morning, because Walt would only come to the park on the weekends. Weekdays he was at the studio in Burbank. And one of his habits was walking through the park, pointing out different things to himself. Then of course he'd tell somebody else, change this or change that or whatever. He's walking through the castle. Charlie and I are coming back from an assignment. So I'm walking. We're both using Rolleiflex cameras. Click! That's it.
Really? Just that quick and simple?
Just like that.
And it was a completely natural shot of
Natural. No posing, no nothing. It was a grab shot. Click. Morning, Walt. Morning. We're on our way.
You can see Renie's classic picture at the entrance of the Main Street Opera House, which features the Disneyland story and great moments with Mr. Lincoln. I always think of Renie when I pass by that. Renie told me that this photo was shot on what was called 120 film. He said it was 2¼ inch square film, so the original photo was actually square, and it's usually seen cropped. But here you can see the sides of the image, including those old Disneyland trash cans. It was very important to Walt Disney that they were covered, so guests wouldn't walk by and see trash in the park. Now there's another photo of Walt that I want to share the story behind, and that one's also in this book. This was the last photo of Walt with Mickey, the last photo of Walt in Disneyland, and the last time that Renie got to photograph his boss. Here's what Renie told me about this photo.
Kodak was shooting a commercial, regular motion picture type film. And Charlie and I were there. Charlie was shooting the black and white, and I was shooting color. Again, using Rolleiflex cameras. When they got through shooting the commercial, one of the directors said, "Still, man." We both rushed in, and it's our shot, our turn. Because we did not shoot while they're shooting, would interrupt the sequence or whatever. And then when we're shooting, they stop their shooting. So Mickey and Walt on the fire truck in front of the castle, we shot. And Charlie and I were shooting at the same time. I shot 11 pictures out of 12. Walt looked me right in the eye and he says, "I want to go ahead and shoot one more." And I said to myself, thank God I did not shoot that 12th one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because if I had, I would have said, "Wait, Walt, I have to change film." And he would wait.
Yeah.
You know, you're taking up his valuable time. My estimation, you're taking up his valuable time.
Right.
Okay, Walt, one more. Click. And then I made a big show of winding the film up to show him, "Hey, I'm done. I haven't got any more film in the camera. I got it in the bag, but not in the camera."
Yeah.
"Thank you, Walt. You're more welcome." And he says to me, "Look," he says, "don't ever be afraid to shoot film. At the studio, we treat film like paper clips. They're nothing. If you don't have the shot in the can," which is an old movie term, you know, if you don't, on film, in a can, you don't have it. So it's better to throw out film and have the shot and not have it. Thanks for the advice, Walt. So, in essence, I never said to my photographer, "Only shoot 3 shots." No, shoot, 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 shoot. We can always edit and throw out what we don't want.
You followed Walt's advice. Was that the last time you ever saw him?
Yeah.
When Walt told Renie that they treat film like paper clips, he was saying, don't worry about wasting the film. The photos are more important. Ever since Renie told me that story, I've often wondered if Walt felt that way beyond just the photos for business purposes. I think he realized that all those photos that Renie took, and even photos that you and I take, capture moments in time and become precious treasures. And Renie created so many treasures in his lifetime.